Hey guys, Faithful Observer here, and today's video is going to be a Premier League preview show previewing Game 23 of the 2019-2020 season. This round of fixtures throws up some huge encounters that will affect right from the top of the table right the way through to the bottom. This is where I preview them and give my predictions, so without further ado, let's get into the preview. We begin with easily the biggest game of this round of fixtures in Liverpool versus Manchester United, arguably the biggest game in English football, and the setting this time around is at Anfield. Both sides picked up wins in their last league fixtures, with Liverpool coming out as 1-0 winners against Tottenham, whilst United beat Norwich 4-0. Will Liverpool remain unbeaten this season, or will United hand Liverpool their first defeat of the campaign? I won't dwell on this one too much, as I plan on releasing a preview video going into a little more depth and detail on this game. So all I will say is that I don't believe Liverpool will get beat here, not by this United side, and certainly not at Anfield. So therefore I'm predicting a 3-1 victory to the Reds, with Sadio Mane among the goals. Next we head to the Etihad for a 3 o'clock game on Saturday between Manchester City and Crystal Palace. Last time out, City leapfrogged Leicester into second with a 6-1 thrashing of Aston Villa, whilst Palace drew 1-1 with Arsenal. Will City make it 4 wins on the bounce, or will Palace upset Pep Guardiola's side here? This one should have a City win written all over it. Palace are a very good side, and I've always said that, and I've also always said that on their day, they can give any side a good game. But with the injury problems that have been accumulating that they currently have, and with how City can turn up here and they can be completely ruthless, I just can't see anything other than a City win. And therefore I'm going to predict a 3-1 City victory, with Sergio Aguero continuing to find the back of the net. Our next game sees a bottom of the table clash play out at Carrow Road, where Norwich entertain Bournemouth. Both sides suffered defeat last time out, with Norwich losing 4-0 to Manchester United, whilst Bournemouth lost 3-0 to Watford. Which side will come out on top and pick up 3 important points here? A bottom of the table encounter, 20th takes on 19th, 3 points on the line. Norwich are being hugely cut adrift from safety by the game. This game is of huge importance to both sides, and that's why it will likely end in a draw, right? Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. Both sides need the points, and that's where they may end up cancelling each other out. It could go any which way, of course it could. But I'm sticking my neck on the line, and I'm going to go with a draw prediction. I'm going to say it will end 2-2 come the final whistle. Next on the list, Burnley host Leicester at Turf Moor. Last time out, Burnley lost 3-0 to Chelsea, whilst Leicester also were on the losing end of a scoreline, having been beaten by Southampton 2-1. Will Burnley finally put an end to their 4-game losing streak, or will it be the Foxes who get back to winning ways here? It's a must-win game for the Clarets, this one. I feel like they are 3 points away from the drop zone, but depending on how other results go this weekend, they could very well be in it by Sunday. As for Leicester, a mediocre past month or so for them has made them realise that there's still a long way to go in this campaign, but for this game, I can't see them losing this one. I'm going to say a 2-1 Leicester victory is on the cards here, with Jamie Vardy back among the goals for the Foxes. The Magpies meet the Blues in our next game as Newcastle take on Chelsea at St James's Park. Last time out, Newcastle drew 1-1 with Wolves, whilst Chelsea came out comfortable 3-0 winners against Burnley. Will Newcastle find their first league win in 4 games, or will Chelsea pick up the 3 points in this fixture? The Newcastle injury list continues to grow, and their squad is becoming ever stretched. And coming up against Chelsea, away from home, may not be what they need right now. The Blues have a better away record than they do at home this season, scoring plenty of goals in the process. And honestly, I can see that continuing here, and therefore I'm going to go and predict a 2-0 Chelsea victory. Another interesting game this weekend is set to play out at the Emirates Stadium as Arsenal entertain Sheffield United on a 3 o'clock game on Saturday afternoon. Arsenal were forced to share a point with Crystal Palace last time out when they drew 1-1 with the Eagles, whilst the Blades came out as 1-0 winners over West Ham with a little help from some late VAR drama. Will Arsenal put 3 points towards their pursuit of European football, or will United pick up another win on the road in what's been an incredible season for the Blades? Last time out, these two teams met. United came out as 1-0 winners. Since then, there's been a new manager in charge of Arsenal, and for the most part, they've looked different in a good way, and there are signs that there's something to build upon there. The suspension of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang will be a huge loss for the Gunners in this game, and it only adds to the interest and intrigue of this fixture. The unpredictability of Arsenal, combined with the determination, the heart and the desire of Sheffield United. So my prediction for this game is a draw. It really could go any which way, as with a lot of games that you'll find this weekend, but I'm going to predict a 1-1 draw come the final whistle. The Hammers clash with the Toffees as the London Stadium plays host to West Ham versus Everton in our next game of focus. Last time out, West Ham were on the wrong end of a 1-0 scoreline as they lost to Sheffield United, whilst in contrast, Everton were on the right end of that same scoreline as they beat Brighton. Will West Ham get back to winning ways here, or will Everton continue their resurrection under Carlo Ancelotti? Two sides with two relatively new managers. West Ham need the points more given how close things are at the bottom of the table as they are looking right now, whilst Everton's season has been fairly miserable. And whilst European football of some sort isn't completely out of the question given how close things are, it's more about showing signs of progress and changing the club's fortunes around right now. As far as this game goes, I'm going to have to give the slight edge to Everton here. I was thinking more of a draw for this game in all honesty, but I think Everton may have just a little bit more firepower in attacking areas. And that is why I think that this game will end 2-1 to the Toffees in this fixture. Next, we're off to St Mary's as Southampton entertain Wolves in another 3 o'clock game on Saturday. The Saints are currently on a 5-game unbeaten run, with their last result being a 2-1 victory over Leicester, whilst Wolves had to settle for a point last week when they drew 1-1 with Newcastle. Will the Saints stretch their unbeaten run to 6 games, or will Wolves continue their push for European football? Another interesting game ahead this one. Southampton are in form right now and also have a very informed striker in Danny Ings in their ranks, who, like I mentioned earlier this week, if it wasn't for his goals, they wouldn't be nowhere near where they are right now. And then you have Wolves, a good side who are currently on a run of 3 games without a win, but have European football in their sights. Another game that could go any which way, and I'm not very confident with this, but I'm going to predict a 2-2 draw with Raul Jimenez and Danny Ings both scoring for their respective clubs. In the penultimate game on this list, Brighton take on Villa as 18th meets 14th at the Amex Stadium. Both sides were beaten last time out, with Brighton losing 1-0 to Everton, whilst Villa got absolutely thumped by Manchester City, with Pep Guardiola's side running out 6-1 winners last Sunday. Which side will get back to winning ways here? Villa, currently occupying a relegation spot, have a chance to escape it this weekend and even go level on points with their opponents here. It's another tricky game to call. Both sides can either be very good and difficult to play against on their day, or on another day they can be quite lackluster and poor, and it just depends on which version of these sides turn up in this game. But it's a real opportunity for one of these teams to deliver a bit of a blow to the other teams in terms of putting 3 points towards their own Premier League survival bid. And my prediction for this game, when I can't decide, I normally go for a draw, and that's what I've gone for here. 1-1 draw come the final whistle. And finally, we're at Vicarage Road for Watford versus Tottenham in Saturday's lunchtime encounter. Watford have put together a 5-game unbeaten run recently, with their latest result being a 3-0 victory over Bournemouth, whilst Tottenham haven't won in the last 3 games, with their latest result being a 1-0 loss to league leaders Liverpool. Will Watford stretch their unbeaten run to 6 games, or will Tottenham get back to winning ways in this fixture? Now, this game should be interesting. You've got Watford, a team that's currently on the rise after seemingly being re-energised and have recovered brilliantly under new manager Nigel Pearson, whilst on the other hand, you've got Tottenham under Jose Mourinho that have not had the best of starts due to injuries and having to deal with issues that were at the club beforehand, but have the quality and the players on paper to win this game. Yet another game that could go either way, and I am actually tempted to say that Watford will actually upset the odds and win this game in all honesty. But again, all I can see happening here is another draw. I'm going to predict 2-2 come the final whistle. And that wraps up this Premier League preview show for Game 23 of the 2019-2020 Premier League season. Guys, if you have any thoughts, comments or predictions of your own for any of this round's fixtures, let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to read them all. Otherwise, hit that like button on the way out if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both things would be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch the Football Observer. This has been another Premier League preview show, and I will see and speak with you all again soon in another video.